let's continue reading from the Gospel of Mark. Then came unto him the Pharisees, and certain of the scribes, which came from Jerusalem. Okay, here comes some of the big Pharisees and some of the big scribes. I mean, these were the PhDs. They had the PhD in theology and religion. Okay, they were very learned. They'd read a lot of things. And when they saw some of his disciples eat bread with the defiled, in other words, eating bread with, just regular people, that is to say, with unwashed hands, they found the fault. For the Pharisees and all the Jews except they wash their hands oft eat not, holding the tradition of the elders. Okay, so not only that, but the people were eating and not washing their hands. Okay. Well, we should wash our hands before we eat, right? We know that, but you can see what's going on here. They're judging. You know how some people judge other people. So they were puffing up and judging. And when they came from the market, except they wash, they eat not. And many other things there be which they have received to hold, as the washing of cups and pots, brazen vessels, and of tables. So they had their ritual ceremonies that they felt were important. Trouble is, they made them too important. Okay, they made them too important. Remember, okay, first of all, a lot of people are majoring in the minors. A lot of people are majoring in the minors. They make the little things too important. Some little thing, and the important thing they don't make at all. So the important thing is that Jesus was there, and he was teaching the people, and he was showing people how to get closer to God, how to get closer to his Father. Okay, so that's what's important. Not whether somebody does some little tradition thing. Then the Pharisees and scribes asked him, Why walk not the disciples according to the tradition of the elders, but eat bread with unwashed hands? He answered and said unto them, Well hath Esaias prophesied of you hypocrites, as it is written, This people honoureth me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. Howbeit in vain do they worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men. For laying aside the commandment of God, you hold the tradition of men, as the washing of pots and cups, and many other things such as the things you do. And he said unto them, Full well you reject the commandment of God, that you may keep your own tradition. For Moses said, Honor your father and your mother, and whosoever curseth father or mother, let him die the death. But you say, If a man shall say to his father or mother, It is Corban, that is to say, a gift, but by whatever thou mightest be profited by me, he shall be free. And you suffer him no more to do aught for his father or his mother, making the word of God of none effect through your tradition, which you have delivered, and many such like things do you. So let's look at that for just a moment. Okay? He was saying that they make the commandments of God to no effect, because they make their own laws, their own traditions, their own ideas, okay, man-made ones that they are applying, okay, which contradict, or don't pay any attention to what God said. Okay, so it's very important to remember what God said, and to obey what God said. Never mind what people say. Never mind don't let people's traditions contradict God's commandments. Okay? So, you have to walk upright. You have to honor God in your own heart, in your own house, in your own room. Okay? You honor God. And when you go out in public, you don't dishonor Him. Okay? And so, we have to pay attention to the things that God said and make sure that we're not contradicting them in your own life. Now, you can't help everyone else. The whole world is going to a hell in a handbasket. The whole world seems to be determined to make it as if there's no God everywhere you go. God is taken out of this, and the Ten Commandments are taken out of that, and you can't mention religion here, and you can't mention the name of Christ in the graduation ceremony. And all these things, see, it's not good. Not only that, but people want you to violate your conscience. Because don't forget, not only do we have the commandments of God, but we have what we know in our heart. Remember? Christ said, well, actually it was the prophet, but then Christ repeated it, said, the day is coming when I will write my laws. This was God speaking through the prophet. I will write my laws in their mind and in their hearts. Okay? And they shall be my people, and I shall be their God. So you have to also abide by what you know in your heart. So if in your heart you know that something is not right, then don't do it, even if everyone else is doing it. Okay? You have to obey your conscience, what you know in your heart, what you wordlessly know. Life can be very subtle. Sometimes things are there's a line drawn in the sand, and it's very clear not to step over that line. Okay, it's clear. But other things can be subtle. And you have to live your own. You have to find the way. You have to search out the way. Okay. Paul said, I forget how he said it, to delicately, I can't remember how he said it, to search out your salvation. See? You have to delicately, one toe at a time, one day at a time, one moment at a time, one thoughtful, moment at a time. You have to live your life thoughtfully, not foolishly. See, because there's temptation all around you. All around you, people are living foolishly and doing dumb things and saying dumb things and tempting you by their naivete, their gullibility, their lack of knowledge, their lack of understanding, their lack of interest in God, their lack of belief. They do foolish things. Okay, so don't be tempted to go along with them. Okay, don't be tempted to go along with them. All right. So very important. I've always said that religion is the relationship between one person and his creator, or one person and her creator. Like Abraham, Isaac, Moses. See, the man and his God, the woman and her God. Okay? And so you have to find the way, a little bit at a time. And at the end, see, after a life well lived, then you will receive the prize. But you can't just live foolishly and wastefully and live like God doesn't exist, and pay more attention to the commandments of men than of God. See, you can't live your whole life that way and then at the last moment think everything's going to be okay. Okay? There's a lot of silliness, foolishness. It's like we're being ruled by children. Foolishness and silliness, especially, on TV and radio and so on. You hear so much of it. Don't judge them and don't hate them. Don't resent them, okay? Don't puff up. Think yourself better than anyone. But on the other hand, take time to meditate as I teach. Every morning, 5 minutes, and at noon and in the evening. And walk uprightly with your God, okay? My name is Pastor Roland.